Basketball superstar Caitlin Clark has been named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year for 2024 thanks to the impact the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, Rookie of the Year's had on her sport. Even in a year with an Olympic Games in which she did not make the U.S. Olympic team, the Caitlin Clark effect was undeniable, in addition to her on-field exploits, setting scoring records collegiately before she was drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever. Clark's off-field influence has been monumental too. Her final college game, a championship contest between her University of Iowa and the University of South Carolina, broke U.S. TV viewing records for a women's sporting event outside the Olympics. Televised games featuring the Fever broke WNBA viewing records too, while attendances were up across the league by 48% compared to 2023. Of the 35 WNBA games this season which attracted the most fans to arenas, Clark and the Fever featured in 31. I've been able to captivate so many people that have never watched women's sports, let alone women's basketball, and turn them into fans, Clark told Time. People are invested in the game, they love the game, and that's what makes it so fun for me. These people aren't supporting women's sports to check a box. It's going to be the new normal. Her success has also led to off-court, sometimes racist or misogynistic controversies involving people claiming to be her fans or defenders. Of the online abuse directed at other WNBA players, Clark said, "Just stop the harassment, because that's not who I am." Clark was left off the U.S. women's basketball national team roster for Paris 2024 after a first half of the season that saw her Fever team go 3-9. Missing the games, in which the U.S. narrowly won gold over hosts France in the gold medal final, will definitely motivate me my entire career, Clark said. So, watch out Louisiana 2028. Making that Olympic team is a huge, huge goal of Clark's, and it will be all the sweeter on home soil. WNBA free agency is open, and the Indiana Fever are in a prime position to make some big moves. This negotiation period, which runs January 21st to 31st, is the second stage of free agency. All teams sent out qualifying offers, including Indiana, which sent a core offer to Kelsey Mitchell, between January 11th to 20th. The final stage of free agency begins February 1st, when free agents can officially sign with teams. Indiana is an enticing draw for many players. The Fever, with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, are a team on the rise after making their first playoffs in 7 years last season. Indiana is constructing a new $78 million practice facility, as well, that will open in 2027. There's a lot of upside with the Fever, who have an experienced coach in Stephanie White and are ready to make the leap to one of the best teams in the league. Here's an overview of the players the Fever already have signed, Indiana's cap space, and how much impact they can make with their remaining money. Remaining cap space of $408,495 for 2 spots, assuming Mitchell accepts her core qualifying offer, is a good place to be at in free agency. There are multiple ways the Fever could go about increasing their cap space as well. They could waive players on unprotected contracts with no penalty, trade players, or agree to a contract divorce with players on a protected salary. Even with its current cap space, Indiana would be able to take a big swing for one of the top free agents in the market this offseason, like power forward Sato Sabally. Dallas has cored Sabally, but she has already told the Wings she will not return, and the two sides are working to find a new team for her. The core designation would not follow Sabally from the Wings, but she will likely command a max salary of $214,466. She will also likely have multiple teams vying for her. If the Fever do not get Sabally, they will still have a chance, and the cap space, to sign another top player like forward Natasha Howard or Brianna Jones. If Indiana could land Sabally, or another top free agent commanding a max salary, they would still have $194,129 left for another roster spot. That would be a good salary for a solid free agent that could upgrade the Fever's starting lineup, and could even account for 2 players that would be good additions to the rotation. Some people, if they're lucky enough, take off work on their birthdays, whether to nurse a hangover or to unwind. Caitlin Clark is not most people. To further cement that, Clark celebrated her 23rd birthday by going a staggering 50 for 54 on 3-pointers, which the Indiana Fever's social media team captured. What's staggering is that she did it all in less than 3 minutes, with Clark attempting roughly 19 shots per minute. We need Steph Curry versus Caitlin Clark in a 3-point contest, one ex-user commented on the post. She also celebrated her birthday by donating 22,000 books to students in Iowa and Indiana. Fans of Clark know that high-volume shooting behind the arc is a key part of the former Iowa Hawkeyes star's game. During her senior season at Iowa, she broke the record for the most three-pointers in a single season by any male or female Division I player, finishing the season with 201. In July 2023, Clark shared parts of her off-season regimen, which included 100 three-pointers, 100 free throws, and 100 shots from mid-range. Her final total from this particular workout? Clark made 233 of her 300 shots. ESPN's Chris Russo found himself issuing an apology to Caitlin Clark after he questioned her support for the Kansas City Chiefs, admitting that he shouldn't be picking on her. The WNBA star became the center of attention last weekend when she was seen with global pop icon Taylor Swift during the Chiefs' clash against the Houston Texans. The Indiana Fever point guard and the Love Story songstress have struck up a friendship recently, culminating in them cheering on Swift's partner, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, as he helped his team to a vital win. Yet, the seemingly harmless occurrence prompted some to slam Clark about her presence at Arrowhead Stadium. Among the critics was the outspoken Mad Dog, who launched into a rant against the 22-year-old on his Sirius XM radio show, casting doubt over her loyalty to the three-time Super Bowl champions. "I saw Caitlin Clark play, 50 games in college basketball the last 2 years. I never heard one Chiefs fandom reference. I never saw her father with a Chief jersey on," said Russo, who is also a host on ESPN's First Take. "I never saw Clark with a Chiefs hat on. I heard not one reference in 50 games that she was a Chiefs fan, and then all of a sudden now she's a big Kansas City fan. Come on, stop, please." However, on Tuesday, Russo made an appearance on sports commentator Dan Patrick's show and was put right by the host when he informed him that Clark is a Chiefs fan. The 65-year-old said, "I'm chiefed out, Dan. I'm chiefed out. And now all of a sudden Caitlin Clark is a Chiefs fan? I didn't know that Clark was a fan. Did she? She's a Chiefs fan. She knows about Super Bowl I." He then questioned with a hint of condescension, "Does she know about Miami-Kansas City double overtime 27-24 for one of the most famous games in the history of the National Football League?" The show then unveiled a picture of a young Clark donning a Chiefs jersey, with Patrick asking Russo if he wanted to apologize to Clark. I guess. I shouldn't be picking on Caitlin Clark. I'm chiefed out," Russo said. There is no such thing as a day off for Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. Even on her 23rd birthday on Wednesday, the former Iowa Hawkeyes went to the gym to further polish her shooting skills. Based on how she did, it doesn't seem rust has gotten to her amid the WNBA offseason, as she casually went 50 of 54 attempts from the three-point distance. That incredible display of shooting prowess was captured in a video posted by the Fever's official Instagram account. Of course, it has drawn a ton of attention from fans online. Even NBA Eastern Conference team Indiana Pacers commented on it, describing Clark as different. This is hardly the first time Clark has turned heads with her ability to knock down long-range shots. During the 2024 WNBA season, Clark led the league with 122 three-pointers on a 34.4% success rate. Back in college, Clark regularly lit up opponents with her three-point shooting. In 4 years with the Hawkeyes, Clark sank 37.7% of her three-point attempts on her way to becoming the NCAA Division I's all-time leading scorer. The Pacers are also shooting well from behind the arc in the 2024-25 NBA regular season, with Indiana making 37.3% of their tries from deep, good for 7th overall in the league. Indiana Fever guard Erica Wheeler recently hinted at her uncertain future with the team as she prepares to enter WNBA free agency. In a playful social media post, Wheeler suggested she may explore new opportunities, raising questions about her next move after a decade in the league. Wheeler has sparked speculation about her future with the team by hinting at a potential departure in free agency. In a recent social media post, Wheeler playfully indicated that she is exploring her options, which could leave a significant gap in the team's roster as they prepare for the upcoming WNBA season. Wheeler's announcement comes after a season in which she played a crucial role in Indiana's return to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. As a seasoned veteran, her leadership and experience have been invaluable, particularly to All-Star Caitlin Clark. She has previously praised Wheeler for her support and guidance during her transition to the WNBA, highlighting the impact Wheeler has had on her development. Indiana is entering a new era under head coach Stephanie White, who aims to build on the team's recent success. With Clark emerging as a key player and potential franchise cornerstone, the franchise will need to make strategic moves this offseason to maintain their momentum. Wheeler's departure could open the door for new talent but would also mean losing a familiar face who has contributed significantly to the team's culture. Wheeler has dropped hints about leaving Indiana and seeking a new team in free agency this year. This development can be seen in a post shared by Clark Report on X. As Indiana prepares for free agency, they will need to assess their roster carefully. Retaining players like Clark and potentially adding new talent will be essential for the team's aspirations of becoming a championship contender. With the WNBA free agency period set to begin, the team's front office will have to act quickly. Fans are eager to see how the team navigates these changes and what it means for their chances in the upcoming season. Caitlin Clark, the standout player for the Indiana Fever, turned 23 on Wednesday, drawing significant praise from NBA superstar Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers. As the Fever prepares for the upcoming WNBA season, expectations are high after Clark's Rookie of the Year performance last season, where the team made the playoffs for the first time since 2016. With new head coach Stephanie White and a growing team chemistry, Clark aims to elevate her game alongside fellow stars Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. Halliburton highlighted Clark's impactful presence in basketball, noting her dual role as a friend and a formidable athlete. Both players are pivotal in shaping Indiana's basketball scene.